All right, welcome to another session of RTX Compare. And this evening we're working with one of my favorite models, Gemma 4 12B. And this is the Nvidia floating point 4 quantized model. We're working with Windows today because I wanted to see what it was like to run on a graphics card with barely enough memory to run, but it's very fast memory. So we're running this model on that desktop over there. And it's running Windows 11 Pro, and it's got an 850 motherboard with a AMD Ryzen 7 9950 3X, so it's a pretty fast processor. And the graphics card is an Nvidia GeForce 5080 with 16 gigabytes of VRAM, DDR5. So pretty fast combination, but it's not a 5090. 5090's got 32 and double the bandwidth, or at least the double the bus. But it's a pretty fast system, and I think that it's more representative of the desktops of today because most people really can't afford the 5090 because of the exorbitant prices. You can get essentially for the price of that graphics card, you can probably get a DGX Spark now. I hear that the 5090s are going for 4,500, almost 5,000 now. Anyways, so let's give this model a look. It's being served off of VLLM, so inside of a container, and it's optimized for Nvidia. So Nvidia did get a chance to work with Alphabet in getting this model kind of optimized for their graphics cards. They've had pretty good results. Gemma 4 is it's a multimodal model, so that 5 times fast, and we can actually open up files. But the big concern that I have is the context window. 12 billion leaves us 4 gigabytes of KV cache, and you really can't work much with that because context windows can get pretty expensive the moment you start opening files. But let's give it a try. I don't think it's going to crash. I think it's probably going to either not serve a result or serve sparse results. So let's turn on the logging real fast here. So again, all the work is going to be happening on the GPU, very little on the CPU. The CPU is only running the OpenWeb UI as well as Docker, and I still have some Chrome process running in the background, but very minimal. So tell me all about Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I purposely misspelled Tyrannosaurus so we can figure it out. And pay attention to the GPU here. Let's give it a run. Wow, prefill was fast. Load immediately jumped to 97%. Yeah, that's running, I'd say 50, maybe now 60. Pretty fast. Look at that. Definitely impressive. Wow. And as you can see, the data that came out, let's see, physical characteristics, behavior and diet, habitat timeline, has a table here. Okay, it's solid, but it's not like the Gemma 4 70 billion parameter model that we tried the other day on the Spark, DGX Spark. That has a lot more data. In fact, it even shows cool little icons and more tables. But again, you're comparing a model that's 1/5 the size, or maybe even 1/6 the size, because that is 70B. Let's follow it up. Load is back down to 9%. What are some of the most famous T-Rex models I've discovered? Spiking up to 89%. Load, the CPU load is pretty consistent. I'm not really touching that yet. Nothing's going into to disk. Cool. Back down. So very fast on the inference side. Prefill is a couple of seconds, maybe 1 second. and decode, I'd say, like I said, maybe 60 tokens per second. Let's actually try to, well, let's do this. Let's open up a new chat. Let's test out the tooling. Let's go with our trusty CSV file. This is a 398 row, 9 column data set on cars. And let's give it an analysis task. Analyze this file. Give me all the statistics for all columns and rows. And I'll misspell columns there. Oh, look at that. Instantaneous prefill. And good solid data. When we ran this the other day, again on bigger models, there's a lot more statistics that come up. But the basics are good. Let's have it. Can you calculate the average miles per gallon? Okay. Cool. Can you group the statistics by the origin column? Origin is whether or not a car is Japanese, European, or American. See, it's getting weaker and weaker, right? It's only doing origin 1. It's not doing origin 1, 2, or 3. And this is what happens when you have a smaller memory allocated to the context. Now it's doing one sentence, right? If I open up a new chat and we reset the context window, and we do the same thing all over again. Tell me all statistics and averages for all separated by origins. See what it does. See, there we go. It starts to say origin 2, origin 3, right? So it's a lot more data that we have because the KB cache is now bigger compared to earlier. Now we're going to tell it to tell us about Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tell me all about T-Rex, see what it does. Oh wow, look at that. I do not have enough information about the T-Rex in a provided context. However, if it's Tyrannosaurus Rex you're talking about, this is the information. See, it's only one sentence there. So I'm going to say, tell me all about Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, it's starting to get really, really weak now because, again, your context window is gone. Remember, this is a 12 billion parameter model. I think it's 7 on disk. And then you're only allocating at most 6 gigabytes to KB cache. And that's not a lot when there's tooling. Let's open up a new chat here. Let's reset it. Tell me all about T-Rex. My expectation is we'll have more data. There we go, right? So that's what happens when you start getting less and less context availability because that tooling took a lot of it. So yeah, if you're gonna use this model, and again, it's pretty impressive, pretty good model, you're better off opening up a bunch of chats, right? Because if you stay in the same conversation, it's gonna start getting weaker and weaker results. So there we have it, Gemma 4 12B, quantized down through 4-bit using Nvidia floating point 4 and running around 60 tokens per second. Thanks a lot.